So with that, we shall proceed now to learn a new concept. Though we have learnt during the lesson a bit about this, let us learn about these Kridanta Vyayas in detail in today's class. First is, what is an avyayam? Okay, let us try to understand from the avyayam perspective what is an avyaya and what is the definition that we can state in Sanskritam for an avyayam. Okay, Chandrakala Bhagini, can you please repeat after me? Sadrisham Trishu Lingeshu.
Sadrisham Trishu Lingeshu.
Sarva.
Lingeshu.
Sarvasu cha vibhaktishu.
Sarvasu cha vibhaktishu. Sarvasu cha vibhaktishu.
Vachaneshu cha sarveshu.
Vachaneshu cha sarveshu. Vachaneshu cha sarveshu.
Yannavyeti tadavyayam.
Yannavyeti tadavyayam. Yannavyeti tadavyayam.
Dhanyavadaha. So the definition of an avyayam is Sadrisham Trishulingeshu. Yat padam, the whichever word is same. Sadrisham, it is the same, similar. Trishulingeshu, in all the three lingas. Pullinga, Strilinga and Apumsakalinga. Not just that. Sarvasu cha vibhaktishu. Vibhakti is Strilinga Shabda and hence Sarvasu is Sarva Shabda and Strilinga Rupa. Sarvasu cha vibhaktishu. In all the 7 vibhaktis, it is the same form. It doesn't change. Vachaneshu cha sarveshu. Not just that, also in any vachana, ekavachanam, dvivachanam or bahuvachanam, it remains the same. Yat na vyeti. Vyeti means vyatyasaha bhavati, which will not change with respect to the gender or vibhakti or the vachana. Such words are called tat avyayam. Those words are called avyayam. That is the meaning of this karika, which is used to remember the definition of an avyayam. What is an avyaya? If anyone asks, you can say Sadrisham Trishulingeshu Sarvasu cha vibhaktishu Vachaneshu cha sarveshu Yannavyeti tadavyayam. The one word which the words which do not change with respect to gender, case or number, such words are called avyayas. In English, we call this as indeclinable. So some of the examples of the avyayas that we have seen and known are saha, sakam, sardham, samam, abhitaha, paritaha, and then cha, api. All these are avyayas. These do not change irrespective of whether we use it with a Strilinga Shabda or in a different vibhakti, the corresponding words, etc. Sita Ramena Saha Gachati. Even if it is Lakshmanaha Ramena Saha Gachati, Saha remains as it is, irrespective of the number, how many people go. Balakaha Matra Saha Gachanti. Saha remains as it is, irrespective of the gender, case or number, etc. So that is an avyayam. Now let us learn what is a formal definition of a kridantam. What is a kridantam? As you know, for the namapada we have another name called subantam, and then for kriyapada we have another name which is tingantam. What is the in general in Sanskritam, whenever we say antam, that means to say it is ending with certain thing. So here what it is, kridantam is basically the words that end with krit pratyaya. So the basic form on which these krit pratyayas get applied on are the dhatu or the root. So for example, we have kru dhatuhu, pat dhatuhu, etc. These dhatus. On that, there are a set of krit pratyayas that get added. So there are various krit pratyayas, and that once it gets added to the dhatu, a kridantam is formed. Now, this kridantam, we have 2 categories of kridantam. One is called an avyayam, which that means to say it doesn't change with respect to the name, with respect to the gender or case or number, etc. And one more which manifests in the form of a subanta. So various krit pratyayas are there, and just to name a few, which you might have heard or you might have come across, are tumun pratyaya, tva, lyap. These are some of the three avyayas which are there. Kridanta avyayam. Similarly, we have ta, tavatu, shatru, shanach, aniyar, etc. There are various other krit pratyayas which are there, which get added on to the dhatus. Now, for example, ta and tavatu, maybe you would have heard gataha, gramam gataha, nagaram gataha, etc. Gataha, when we say, it is based on a gam dhatu. Dhatu is gam, and the krit pratyaya is kta, and the form will become gataha. Gata will be the pratipadika. If you are referring to a pullinga shabda, in that case, what will happen? Gataha will be the form. Ramaha gataha, Ramaha vanam gataha, Ramaha vanam gatavan. Either of the way we can use it. So that is tavatu pratyaya. If we are referring to a strilinga shabda, Sita, Sita gata, Sita gatavati. So the forms change when we change with respect to the gender, and similarly with respect to the case or the number. So some of these krit pratyayas, once the kridantam is formed, it becomes a namapada, and then all the forms like the sapta vibhaktis that we have will be there for these kridantas. So another example for shatru and shanach, I shall give one. So pathan, pathat is will be the shatra pratyaya for pat dhatuhu, which means to say he is reading. It is continuous. Okay. Saha balakah pathan asti. Now, if you want to say a girl is reading, so balika pathanti asti. And similarly, if you want to say for a neuter gender or basically based on the word mitram, mitram pathat asti. So that's how the forms change, the kridanta forms change based on the usage, based on how we use or with respect to which words we use it. And similarly, balakaha gataha or balakaha gatavan, balakau gatavantau, balakaha gatavantaha, and so on. So that's how it changes. In Dvitiya and in today's class, we shall be learning the Kridanta Vyayam, which is the first three of whatever I have listed here. We will see a few examples of that, and we'll try to understand further and how these Kridantas can be used. The first one of the Kridanta Vyayam is, so basically it is a Kridanta, and then in that Kridanta it is basically an Avyayam, and hence it is called Kridanta Vyayam. So Tumunnanta Vyayam. Again, if you see here, the name Tumunnanta Avyayam. Tumun is the pratyaya. The words ending with tumun pratyaya are called Tumunnanta, which are actually will be avyayas, and hence you get this big name called Tumunnanta Avyayam. Tumunnanta Avyayam. So the examples of this, a few dhatus are kartum, gantum, jetum. In this, what commonly we can observe is in all these words, in any Tumunnanta Avyayam, whenever we see, tum is something which is coming common. So pathitum, lekhitum, gantum, bhoktum, etc. Any of these words, whenever you hear tum towards the ending, then you can think that it is a Tumunnanta Avyayam. Okay, this is one Kridanta Avyayam. The next second Kridanta Avyayam is Tvanta Avyayam, where the pratyaya is Tva, Tva Anta Avyayam, Tvanta Avyayam. And similarly, as you can notice it, Kritva, Gatva, Jitva, etc. Always you will see that it is Tva is ending in all these words. Okay, so that is the Tvanta Avyayam. Just give me a second. There is some issue with the application and it is not responding. Just give me a second. So I'm restarting the presentation. So, so for another examples of Tvanta Vyayam, by the time the slide comes up, I will be speaking. So, Kritva, Gatva, Likhitva, Pathitva, all these words are Tvanta Vyayam. Okay, so evidently we can see that it is having Tva towards the end. Now the last kind of the Avyayam, Kridanta Avyayam that we'll be speaking of and we'll be learning is about the Lyabanta Avyayam. Hopefully you'll be able to see my screen now. Lyap Anta Avyayam, Lyabanta Avyayam. Some of the examples are Sankritya, Agatya, Vijitya, etc. So in all this, as I said earlier, some of the what is evident is ya. Okay, you can see that ya is something which gets added. In some cases, tya gets added, or just yakara. So this is Lyabanta Vyayam. Okay, so these are the three Kridanta Vyayams that are there and that we shall be learning. Now let us see one by one. When do we use this Tumunnanta Vyayam? Is to represent the purpose of an action. Why are you doing something? If you ask a question, as to Balakaha Shalam Gachati, a boy or a Chatraha Shalam Gachati, a student goes to the school. You can ask a question, Kimartham, why does he go to the school? To answer that, you can say he goes to the school to study, to read. So Balakaha Pathanaya Shalam Gachati is one way. Now, another way to use that is to use Tumun Pratyaya in this case. Balakaha Pathitum Shalam Gachati. To read, he goes to the school to read. So the Dhatu plus Tumun Pratyaya we will get the Tumunnanta Vyayam. Patadhatu then Tum will be the Pratyaya that gets added and Pathitum will be the form. We'll see this. Ramaha Pathanaya Shalam Gachati. Ramaha Pathitum Shalam Gachati. A few other examples. Kartum. Ramaha Karyam Kartum Karyalayam Gachati. To work. He goes to the office to work. Han Dhatu. Similarly, Ramaha Vanam Gatavan. Kimartham Rakshas. There were demons. Rakshasan Hantum. Rakshasan Hantum Vanam Gatavan. To kill the demons. Yuddha Dhatu. Similarly, Yodhum. We can take one example. Rananganam Veeraha Kimartham Gachati. Rananganam Veeraha Yodhum Gachati. To fight. To fight a war. Okay, Yodhum Gachati. G Jetum. G Jaye. This is for winning. Jetum. So Balika Spardham. Spardham Kimartham Spardhayam Kimartham Bhagam Swikaroti. Spardham Jetum Bhagam Swikaroti. To win a competition. Jetum. The purpose of the action, whenever we say, that will be there in Tumun Pratyaya. So, so you cannot just say Pathitum and just Ramaha Pathitum and you cannot stop because it expects something more. Pathitum Kim Karoti. There is one more Kriyapada that is there in the sentence. So note that this Tumunnanta Vyayam cannot exist independently because it is purpose of and it is related to one more action there. Pathitum Shalam Gachati. Kimartham Shalam Gachati. Pathitum Shalam Gachati. So we cannot say Ramaha Pathitum and stop. Okay, Ramaha Pathitum Shalam Gachati. Ramaha Kriditum Kridalayam Gachati and so on. So that is the Tumunnanta Vyayam. So we use this to define or to depict the purpose of the action. Okay. Similarly, we'll go to the next Kridanta Vyayam, which is Tvanta Vyayam. So this is used when we have two or more actions which are done sequentially by the same person, one after the other. In such cases, the Tva Pratyaya gets added to the prior action that is completed. So Ramaha shalam gacchati, Ramaha pathati. We will consider these two sentences and we will see as an example. So dhatu plus tvantavim, tva pratyaya, patha plus tva. In tva, basically the final form that remains is tva, and the final will be pathitva. Ramaha shalam gacchati, Ramaha patham pathati. Ramaha shalam gatva patham pathati. So that is the usage of tvantaviyam. So there are two kriyas. Gacchati is one. Then after that, the same person is doing. He is also reading. He is going to school. Then he is reading. Now you can also have even more number of kriyas. Okay. What you can say? Ramaha shalam gacchati, Ramaha patham pathati, Ramaha kridati. Ramaha, so this is all in sequence. The same person Rama is doing. He goes to the school, then he reads, and then he plays. Ramaha shalam gatva, patham pathitva, kridam kridati. So you can have any number of actions, two or more actions. There is no restriction that only two actions should be there. Any number of actions which are done sequentially. That is more important. All the previously completed actions will get this tvantaviyam. Okay, some examples let us see. Kritva, aham karyam kritva griham gacchami. I will complete my work and then go to my home. Aham bhuktva, after having my lunch, after eating, aham karyalayam gacchami. Aham bhuktva karyalayam gacchami. Dhritva, nutanam vastram dhritva, aham shalam gacchami. Aham mama janmadine, on my birthday I will wear new clothes and go to the school. So similarly, pa is for to drink, pitva, kshiram pitva, aham nidrami. I will go to sleep after drinking milk. So in this way, whenever we have multiple actions, we will use the tvantavya, tva pratyaya of this kridanta, and we use these forms. Hope this is clear. Now we will see one more, which is Lebantaviyam. And this is very much similar to Tvantaviyam, as we saw in the previous slide. So this pratyaya is also added whenever there are two or more actions that are there, that are done by the same person and that too sequentially. And in case the root is preceded by an upasarga. So what is an upasarga? We will learn about it shortly. Upasarga, you can think it as it's a prefix that is added to the dhatus. Okay, in such case, what will happen? The tvanta, tva pratyaya will be replaced by lyap pratyaya. So please note this a very important condition. So it is again whenever we have multiple dhatus, where multiple actions done by the same person in an order, the previous dhatus get this tvantaviyam. Now, if the dhatu is already having a prefix, is already having upasarga, such cases, instead of tva, we get lyap pratyaya. In the lyap, final form that remains is ya. So, for example, pra is the upasarga, patha is the dhatu, lyap pratyaya, it becomes prapathya. Pathitva and prapathya, with respect to its usage or the meaning, it is the same. So, having read, he will do something. He will go home. Ramaha pathitva griham gacchati. Okay. Now Ramaha prapathya griham gacchati. The meaning, there is no much difference because it is to use to say after doing this action he is doing that. But what will be the significance of using lebanta is the usage of the upasarga. Okay. By adding an upasarga to a particular dhatu, we can actually create, or we can actually give a different meaning to that particular combination. So this we shall learn with respect to what an upasarga is in a short while. But for now, understand that whenever there is an upasarga, instead of tva pratyaya, we get lyap pratyaya. Okay, Ramaha shalam agacchati, Ramaha patham pathati. Ramaha shalam agatya agamya patham pathati. So agatya agamya, these are the two forms that are possible for gam dhatu plus lyap pratyaya with a as the upasarga. Okay. Let us see a few other examples. Similarly, we have kr, kritva is lyap pratyaya. If we have some as a upasarga, it becomes sankritya. Similarly, da, datva, da, dadati, to give. A, upasarga, we get adaya. So, adaya is to get or to bring, basically. And similarly, chitva, to win. Vijitya, Vijaya, you would have heard. So, Vijitya is basically having won over. Shatrun Vijitya, Raja, Asthanam Agachati. Having won over the enemies, the king will return, will come to the court. So these are some of the usages, and these are the three Kridanta Avyayas that are there, and that we can learn, which is part of our Dvitiya textbook. So to know more about what these Upasargas are and how these, when added to a Kriya Pada, how the meaning can change, etc., we shall see it in a short while.